The following is a presentation of The Day.
There is no one to help you. Out on the mat, it is just you and your opponent. There can be no mistakes. One slip, one false move, and it can all end. This is why you ran the stairs till your legs ached, the sprints until your lungs burned, pushed yourself to the brink every practice, every match. This is why you did it day after day through the bumps, bruises, scrapes, and strains, through the pain. This is why. The chance at a championship, to prove you are the best. It can be a lonely place, or a sanctuary, the place where dreams come true, or nightmares are realized. There are two of you left, but there can be only one. Hear the fans cheer. See your teammates scream. Feel your arm raised in the air. This is your day to become a champion. It's the ECC Wrestling Finals, and it's on game day, live on theday.com.
Welcome everybody to Fitch High School. It is Championship Saturday, and you've got the ECC Wrestling Finals live on game day. Casey O'Neill, the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, is down Matt's side, but we have brought in Southeastern Connecticut wrestling royalty and a little bit of eye candy. CJ Sadie, thank you for coming on board today to make some sense of the chaos that is going around right now. We're about to kick off our opening match. Austin Robertson of Fitch and Eric Zane of Waterford, 138 pounds, and just like that, we're off. Robertson will be in red as far as the scoring is concerned, and Zane in left. Both of these young men coming in with impressive records. Robertson, the senior, 28-5.
That's two for a takedown.
Zane quickly out in front, 2-0. The senior from Waterford.
We just got an escape here, so now we're at 2-1.
And as we go today, for the wrestling novices in the crowd, we will talk about the point system.
Nice arm drag there by Robertson for a takedown, taking the lead.
Now we're going to see how well Zane can use his escapability to try to get that point back, and Robertson comfortable working on top.
Robertson currently has what we call the legs thrown in, and he is working a power half. It's more so strong, more powerful than your normal half Nelson, as you use your other hand to push his neck down and really try to pry him and turn him over there.
So a takedown is worth 2, an escape is worth 1, and then a near fall, depending on what happens while they're down on the mat, could be any number of
either 2 or 3 for the most part. And you can't forget that when a guy's on bottom and he reverses the person and ends up on top, that's a reversal, and that's going to be 2 points too. We also have penalty points.
Looks like he's in a strong position now.
On bottom you have to be when he's holding all the weight of his opponent, and it takes a lot of strength to stay in a strong position there. Good strong base.
Now what does it look like Robertson's trying to accomplish right now? Seems to be trying to work that arm.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do from here, but he's working him right now. He's got the leg in. He's trying to wear him out a little bit and see what he can get.
I mean, 2 seniors, this is their last opportunity at an ECC championship.
And so far, it's been a pretty even matchup, I'd say. It's been a good battle here.
Zane trying to get that leg out, right, so that he can
get an escape and hopefully tie up the match. But 3-2 at the end of the period, man. These kids are wrestling their heart out. They're not just sitting there waiting for the clock to run out. They're wrestling the whole time. It looks good.
So 3-2, end of the first period. So now there are 3 2-minute periods if the match goes the distance. Talk to the folks at home a little bit about what they're seeing right now as far as the position goes.
One guy's in the top position, one guy's in the bottom position. It's called referee's position. The advantage you would think is to the top person because they're technically in the offensive position and trying to turn the bottom person to their back. But you can actually score more points from the bottom position because you can get the reversal and then get near fall. Whereas if you're on top, you can only get near fall.
And Robertson did get the escape there, so now a 4-2 lead, and the two locked up in the middle. either, of course, looking for.
Zane can close that gap real close, though. A takedown here gets him tied back up.
And it doesn't take much, right? Just one simple, misshoot or misread of what your opponent's doing, and you can find yourself on your back in a hurry.
We're going to find ourselves, this is what we call the funk here in wrestling. They're very unorthodox positions, scrambling. Robertson secures another takedown.
We won't call it commanding just yet, but a 6-2 lead's a nice, comfortable place to be in for Robertson. Of course, we are in the first of what is going to be 14 championship matches here at Fitch High School as Game Day presents the ECC Wrestling Championships live at Fitch High School. Now, what does Zane need to do here to effectuate an escape and try to maybe even a reversal?
Well, as we tell our youth wrestlers, and it's true at this level as it is at the Olympic level, he needs to get his head up, all right? He also needs to gain hand control. Robertson's controlling Zane's hands, so Zane can't use his hands to fight back realistically. But he's up to a good base. Robertson's going to try to break him down and then work a pinning combination. Zane just needs to get some hand control, which he is not doing at all.
And Robertson has been in control for almost the entire period at this point, as we're down to 10 seconds remaining in the period, and Robertson has been in control for all 2 minutes. You can hear the fans here. They know what they're talking about, yelling head up for Zane, and that's the end of the second period. 6-2 Robertson. I got to imagine that's an incredible toll to be, fighting for 2 minutes as Zane had to do.
To have someone just as strong as you, as an elite wrestler in a finals match, the kid's like a backpack on your back, and you got to hold him there without letting him make you crumble. Yes, it is extremely, it's tiring. It's absolutely tiring.
Now, Robertson, do you stay with, you're 2 minutes away from an ECC championship. Do you stay aggressive, or is this where, in your mind, it's 6-2? I think he just answered my question.
He did. He's going in for shots. A lot of wrestlers can stall and ride it out, but, he's looking to score. He's looking to score. They're in an awkward position here.
Of course, Zane, if he can manage to reverse this.
This is big. This is big. This is the funk that I was talking about. Those unorthodox situations where no one really has an advantage right now, and anything can happen. It really can. The refs are looking to call a stalemate pretty soon, though. They're getting ready for it. I'm calling that one.
Robertson, you can see right now, just needs to get that leg. If he
almost has it. There's no control, though. He doesn't have the control. This is awesome. This is beautiful. This is wrestling right here. There's a stalemate called. A little bit too late in my eyes, but.
I got to think that's an advantage for Robertson right now. You get back up to neutral again, and now with a minute left, you're just really trying to avoid takedown and a pin at this point.
Yeah, but, all it takes is a big throw, feet to back. 2 points for a takedown and a couple more points for near fall, and he's right back in this match.
Zane hasn't really shown the aggressiveness that Robertson has shown as far as Robertson's gone in quicker and faster each time. Zane is going to have to come up with something here.
He's got 40 seconds to do it, and if he doesn't do it, that's on him, man. You got 40 seconds to work. You got to leave it all out on the line.
At what point do you try that desperation throw, that move that you really?
10 seconds ago, but he just had a beautiful double leg, went out of bounds, but that could have been his 2 points there. But yeah, he's got to go big here. I would say from a coaching standpoint.
Like you said, 24 seconds remaining. There's no longer time to strategize. You got to put it all in.
Clock's ticking.
Down to 15 seconds remaining here in the match. 6-2 Robertson over Zane.
With a nice takedown. They're out of bounds. Sorry, I'm getting a little excited there.
So there's the nice takedown by Zane. Draws it to 2 points. One more takedown here, and we can tie this thing up.
He's got 8 seconds to put him on his back. They're going neutral. So they're putting him neutral. Yeah, he's giving him the 1 point, and now he's going to try to.
He needs a takedown near fall, right?
Yeah.
Goes in for the
he's
single
got
leg.
Another takedown. Can he secure it and finish it? That's
there
2.
It is. He just
time
ran
was
out
up.
Of time.
Either way, he wouldn't have had it. That was a good match. Good way to start this finals off.
So your 138-pound ECC champion, senior Austin Robertson of Fitch High School. 28 wins on the season, now it's 29. And a game Eric Zane from Waterford High School just comes up short. And the sports doctor will be conducting post-match interviews as we go, but we move along pretty quickly. Let's talk about the next match. 145, Lyman Memorial senior Jared Sweat and Wyndham Jr. Marcos Rodriguez, both 29 wins coming into this match here. Should be a very competitive 145. Rodriguez will be red and Sweat green on your monitor. Right now, the two obviously just trying to make heads or tails of each other, but Sweat goes in for a single leg, got that foot, now he's wrapped around, that should be two. Sweat clearly very aggressive on top right now.
Sweat's the other kid. Rodriguez is the Wyndham kid, right?
Rodriguez is in red with a 2-1 lead over Sweat. My bad, calling that wrong. This is the two blue jerseys going at each other.
No, it's hard sometimes.
I need like Whalers Killing Ring is what I need. Red and green.
Green and red, make it easy.
But then, of course, they'll be flip-flopped, and red will be green, and green will be red.
Yeah, the New London guys will be wearing the red anklet for some reason. It's the referees are colorblind out here, I guess.
Oh, I like that move right there.
Yeah, that's a fireman's carry dump. He's got to get his head out to finish it, though.
There it is. Beautiful takedown. I love the fireman's carry. Really well executed by Rodriguez. 4-1 lead now as we head down 30 seconds remaining here in period number 1.
And that fireman's carry there is one of those feet to back moves, you know. He only just secured the 2 takedown, but there was a possibility if he hit it a little bit harder, a little bit better, that he could have gotten, some near fall, maybe even a pin.
Rodriguez in early control here. And Sweat appears like he's pretty comfortable.
That was a quick call. The refs are calling for bottoms. He says he's stalling. He's not doing much. He's just sitting there trying not to get pinned.
And we're at the end of 1 period, and that's going to be 4-1 Rodriguez here in the early going. Talk a little bit about what the stalling means for the official.
So stalling means that you're not actually actively wrestling. You're not looking to score. You're just trying to stop what the other guy's bringing your way. You're not actually trying to do anything beyond that.
Sweat now trying to, if he could get around here and get that leg free, would this be points for Sweat? Oh, nice job though, Rodriguez, not letting that happen.
So yeah, he's got to, if he hooks that ankle with that leg, if Sweat can hook Rodriguez's back ankle there, it would be 2. But he's pretty close to gaining control. But again, we're in one of those funk positions. That's 2. That should be, no, they called a stalemate. And what a stalemate is when you get into a position and there's no movement, you're kind of in a stalemate. For those of you at home that know what a stalemate is.
Sweat will be on top. Oh, beautiful quickness that time by Rodriguez.
That was almost a beautiful reversal.
Almost too quick for his own good.
Yeah, but look at that. I guess it wasn't too quick for his own good.
Right into a near fall.
So now 3 near falls has been awarded because he's been on there for longer than 5 seconds, and the Wyndham kid's looking to pin.
He wants to finish this thing here in the second period.
Yeah,
a lot of time left.
Pin him now. You don't have to do any more work for the rest of the day, bud. Go home with the championship and the gold medal around your neck.
And Sweat just fighting for his life right now. Sees his season on the line, but there it is.
Coach Risley from Wyndham, always passionate and has lots of energy. Gotta love it. It's a big pinfall right there.
Congratulations, Marcos Rodriguez, the junior from Wyndham, is the 145-pound ECC champion over Lyman Memorial's Jared Sweat, and just like that, we saw the quickness. We have the sports doctor with our 138-pound winner.
138-pound champion Austin Robertson. Austin, 141 career victories. How special was that one?
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's an achievement.
So you got off to a big lead, and how'd you hold off your opponent?
I just kept my cool, trusting my own abilities. So, yeah.
Feels pretty good, doesn't it, son?
Yeah, real special.
What does this mean going into the state tournament?
It's pretty good. I feel like I'm built to peak right about states, so I'm getting better and better. So,
all right, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Austin Robertson. Here we are in the 152 match. Ryan Powers, the junior from Lyman Memorial, and Ian Anderson, the senior from Montville. This should be a good one, both with over 30 wins on the season. And in the early going here, we saw them head out of bounds. But I appreciate Anderson and Montville having his name on the back of the singlet. That helps me out a lot. They should all have name tags. It would help me out a great deal.
Nice crossface here to stop that double leg into a whizzer. Lyman here on that leg, trying to gain advantage.
Anderson trying to get leverage going down to break that hold, but now goes for the leg, and they're going to end up riding out of bounds here unless they can get back in. There we go, get him back in.
And we're out. Right back to the center. Yeah, Ian's actually one of the referees for our youth wrestling tournaments. Does a great job with the kids, and he does a great job calling the matches.
Well, that's got to be tough because you can then, you want to argue. When you want to argue with the official, say, hey, I thought I was official. I should have gotten 4 points there.
Well, USA Connecticut has done a really good job, and that helped me as an athlete. Becoming certified as an official, it actually makes you better at the sport because you understand the ins and outs of the rules. And maybe you shouldn't argue with the referee, but maybe you have a little bit of ammo when you do because you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we actually, in youth sports in Colchester, have all of our coaches official rec basketball, rec soccer, and we have our young players do the same just to gain an appreciation for the difficulty that the officials have, to realize it's, everyone complains about officials. That's kind of a universal thing. It is not easy. And I can imagine with something as physical and fast as wrestling, it's got to be a challenge. I mean, these officials. These
guys are getting a workout out here. They got, they got people's kids' futures on their line out here. This means a lot to people. So
absolutely, and parents, of course.
But they have a thankless job, and the coaches maybe get a little bit less than the officials, but they're right there. We need to put the parents out here, make them coach a season, make them try to be an official, and then maybe they could learn.
Anderson trying to gain control on top right now. No score here in period 2 between Ryan Powers of Lyman Memorial and Ian Anderson of Montville. Seems like both of these two are very good defensively at sort of warding off any offensive challenge of the other so far.
Yeah, both real strong kids, and Anderson's trying to work him over. He's got a spiral ride with a little bit of cross throat here going on. He's working his best just to tire the guy out and try to get him flat and roll him over and get him on his back.
Plenty of time remaining in period 2.
All right, we got the refs calling for another stalling call, which is for green, and that's on bottom. Saying he's not really moving. Anderson's trying to turn him. The kid on bottom's not really doing much.
I'm not sure what what more there is to do right now as far as the guy's trying to rip you over. I don't know what more there is to do other than to try not to let him do that. Oh, nice positioning that time, Anderson, to keep him in.
Oh, here's that guillotine you said your college buddies used to throw you in.
Yes, the great Eric Mangini.
If he can pull it off, this is basically a shirt. If you get this guillotine, the match is basically over.
Oh, yes.
For the most part, it's a pretty tight pinning combination.
Stalemate.
Yeah, another stalemate there.
Yes, the great Eric Mangini, former head football coach of the New York Jets, Cleveland Browns, and my fraternity brother at Wesleyan, said that whenever I talk too much, and everyone knows I talk too much.
Oh.
Single leg, he almost wouldn't let that
Sweat
foot go.
almost got the one, but Anderson's holding on to that leg for dear life.
And we're going to be out of bounds here, yeah. That was very close. Yes, Eric said whenever I talk too much, it was time for the guillotine. That was not a lot of fun because I didn't have an official to end the match.
Yeah.
I think Anderson is sensing something right now, though. The pace is picked up here with 10 seconds remaining in the period.
Oh, he grabs back on that leg again. He better hold on. We got 4 seconds. Is the one going to be awarded? The refs are not going to call one for an escape. Anderson kept control the whole time, and he's lucky that he did because we're keeping it 0-0. Anderson's now going to be in the bottom position. It's his choice, and the idea is that he can get an escape or reversal here, that he is going to be the one in the lead.
Yeah, I thought Powers did a nice job that time. I thought he had the escape, but you're right, Anderson never quite let him go. Same thing here. Anderson's trying for it, but Powers just isn't letting him
Powers
go.
is a strong, strong kid, man. He looks it, but I can also see it, that the way these are both good wrestlers here.
You can see, I mean, how often we see the escape almost a guarantee sometimes because the person on bottom is quicker, stronger. These two are just not letting the other go.
Yeah, good matchup.
I mean, we're midway third period and it's scoreless. I think the first point here could be like worth 3. When is a 1-0 lead a commanding lead? When it's this match.
Uh-oh. Wow, we're hearing a
There it
spladle. Anderson.
There it is. Get
Anderson
behind him.
secures the 2, and he's actually looking to get some near fall here if he can. He's got his legs trapped up. All right, they're back out, but hey, he's got to ride him for a minute if he wants this lead, and Sweat here has got a lot of work to do. He's got to get his head off the mat, and again, as we spoke before, he's got to use his hands to control the top guy's hands. Otherwise, the top guy's going to use his hands to control him the whole match like he's been doing.
Now there's the escape for Powers, and he goes immediately in for the takedown. He's got to get a takedown here with 50 seconds remaining, and Anderson holding on for dear life with that 2-1 lead.
47 seconds here on the clock, 2-1. Takedown from Sweat gives him the lead. Oh, sorry, that's Ryan Powers. Sweat was our last wrestler out of Lyman.
I know those Lyman Memorial guys out of bounds, but we're going to get 2.
Oh, wow, things just got interesting here. The referees just called a 2 for Powers, and now Powers has the lead. But as you remember, Anderson, he's not easy to hold on the mat. He's got 30 seconds here. It's going to be an interesting match.
Can he get the escape? Can he get the reversal? Or can Powers ride this out?
That's what it's going to come down to. Anderson wants it, though. He's up on his feet.
Good position. Can he break the hands?
And we can get a stalling call. If he doesn't return him to the mat, they can hit him for stalling like they just did. And now the match is tied. It's almost like I'm a mind reader.
This is why you're here. The Svengali of ECC Wrestling.
So now the match is tied. So if Anderson wants that 1, he's got to get it now, and that'll give him the lead.
14 seconds. They're imploring him. Get the escape. Get the escape. Can he get the leg out?
He's going to go big. He's got to get out. He's working. Pull that leg in, Powers.
Powers has 5 seconds remaining.
We going into OT here?
We are
going into OT.
We are in our...
Oh, wait. It's 3-3, right?
They awarded the...
They gave the stalling call?
Yeah.
We're going into OT. The scoreboard's not correct, but I am.
All right, 3-3. We're going into overtime. We had it right the whole way.
So now, whoever here gets a takedown in this 1 minute sudden death, as soon as the takedown's awarded, the match is over and we get a winner. If it stays 0-0 here, we're going to go into 2 separate 30-second top and bottom periods. Coach Brandon Stroud of Lyman, very excited about this match. Joined by Greg LaFlamme over there, sharing a similar hairstyle.
1 minute, a takedown wins.
Well, Powers has got a look on his face like he is ready to go. They're both exhausted. Starting to hear some noise out of the stands. These bleachers are starting to slam their feet on the bleachers, starting to clap along, getting big.
See Powers, he wants to win right there. He shoots the leg.
Uh-oh, they're out of bounds. Anderson needs to work that to his advantage right now. Oh, man. The sheer strength and power of Powers is amazing. Those positions, that when he's down in those double leg positions, under the guy, then lifting him up, that takes so much strength and core energy, and you gotta have some strength in your quads to have that go down.
There he goes for the single leg again. He's in good shape. Can he get around?
Oh, man, Anderson. Oh, that's 2.
There
That's
it is.
it. That's match, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, the heartbreak for Ian Anderson of Montville. Joy for Ryan Powers of Lyman. An exciting 5-3 overtime win. The Sports Doctor has our 145 champion. Sports Doctor.
145-pound champion Marcos Rodriguez. You talked about being the strongest man in the universe. What made you the strongest man on the mat today?
I just wanted to work for it, man. I just wanted to do it. I wanted it, and I got it. That's what I wanted. I just wanted to work for it, and I'm so happy I got it.
Congratulations. Casey?
Thank you, Sports Doctor. That says it all right there. We are now in our 160-pound matchup between Zachary Navarrete, a senior from Montville, and Braden Grimm, a junior from Ledyard. And that Grimm name is a familiar name for those who follow wrestling here in the ECC.
His brother Colin, and probably around 2010, was a state open champ at about 160 to 180. So it's following in his footsteps here. He's in finals of a wrestling match.
Grimm will be in green, and Navarrete will be in red as far as the scoreboard is concerned. And right now the two are content. Now you're starting to see the big bodies coming.
Yeah, they're going to get bigger and bigger each weight class goes up. But after 285, they're going to get smaller.
That's right. Then we're going to go down to the Hummingbirds.
So now you know I'm a colonel.
I do know that.
Did you know that?
I do.
It's
Of course
my
I do.
alma mater out here. My wrestling coach still the wrestling guru of southeastern Connecticut here. Steve Billheimer continues to put championships up on the board. Ledyard Wrestling has the state record of 21, I believe, state wrestling titles. And that's an amazing feat.
And they sit currently third in the overall standings right now, team points. Killingly on top, and Killingly the favorites today, especially with their group of finalists that they have, 5 of them today. Waterford right on their heels though at 187.
They're nipping at their heels, and don't count them out just yet. You know, this is wrestling. Anything can happen, and that's what makes it exciting. And
Ledyard certainly could benefit from a Grimm win right now.
Absolutely.
If he doesn't win, he'll be Grimm as well, but for a whole different reason. We, of course, have circled the 113 matchup between Logan Smith of Waterford and Mike Sheeran of Killingly as not only perhaps the premier match of the day, but maybe the match that decides one way or the other the team competition.
Yeah, that's a head-to-head matchup between first and second, and that's going to matter here when we're tallying up the team scores.
Beautiful quickness by Navarrete that time, but he couldn't quite make heads of it, but he's got an early 2-0 lead here on Grimm. Navarrete seems to be very, very quick, able to kind of counterbalance what Grimm has tried to do thus far. Grimm will try to work out here, work out an escape.
He's working for an escape right now, though, and he's got it. 2-1.
There's that quickness now. Navarrete trying to get underneath. You know, he's trying to get that head under.
He's pushing on that neck. You control the head. You can basically control the rest of the body. As any good coach will tell you.
If you could have a kid with strength, quickness, or precision, what would you choose? A kid that was technically precise, a kid that was just strong as an ox, or a kid that was quick as lightning? And you could only have one of those.
I think I would
things.
want to take speed. I think speed.
Hard to
precision. I don't know if precision's.
Can you be
as
technically
important.
sound enough to out-wrestle someone who's faster than you or stronger than you?
Absolutely, 100%. And stronger, faster. Yes, technique wins at the end of the day, but
you'd like that quickness if you can have it. We're going to get a delay as we're going to look. I think we have a little nosebleed action now. Now of course, nosebleeds made famous by the great wrestling movie Vision Quest, when Loudon Swain was a bleeder in his match versus Shoot. But how often in a wrestling match do we see blood?
Very often. Wrestling is the only sport with what's going on right now, and it's called blood time. It's the only sport. You get 5 minutes to clean up the blood, and if you have a bloody nose that is just gushing blood and it's not cleaned up in the 5 minutes, the match is over.
Now, what are they allowed to do? Are they allowed to jam Kleenex up there? And
they usually not Kleenex. I think they usually use Tampax for the most part. Pretty absorbent, to be honest with you.
Now, because you got to do whatever you can to get this bleeding stopped.
Yes.
So right now, Braden Grimm down 2-1 with 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. He's got to get his blood.
Shoving cotton up his nose, trying to stop the bleeding, and they're falling out. And he's continuing to bleed. So they're going to try their best to get him cleaned up here. You got certain kids who they get hit on the nose and they won't stop bleeding.
No, I mean, if you get hit the right way, your nose is it's just going to bleed and relentlessly. So Casey O'Neill, along with CJ Saddy, we're here at Fitch High School for the ECC Wrestling Championships. We are in blood time right now as Braden Grimm, a junior from Ledyard, has a bloody nose, and Zachary Navarrete of Montville is stalking him out there, but it looks like we're going to resume. Is there an advantage here one way or the other you've had to have been on the mat with guys bleeding. You've been bleeding. What does it change?
I was going to say that maybe that it slowed the pace down for Navarrete here, but as you see with that explosive escape just now, it didn't slow his pace down at all. While he was stalking, that was his energy. He was ready to go. He wants to attack, and the blood time kind of stopped him. And maybe that even made him a little upset. I want to wrestle. Stop bleeding and get over here so I can take you.
Well, Grimm's tissue just came out, and I think he's still bleeding.
He's got another takedown.
So now he's up 5-1, and we're going to see another stoppage because he's still bleeding.
All right, we're back on that blood time. And that 5 minutes I spoke about before, that's a continuous time. So last time it took a minute or two, he's only got 3 minutes left now.
So he gets 5 total minutes of
Correct.
blood time. And someone's going to come out and take this bloody tissue off. Thank you very much. All right.
That's Coach Alan Quibble, former Ledyard Colonel standout, amazing wrestler. And he's an assistant coach under Steve Billheimer, as mentioned. Steve Billheimer probably has up to 10 championships in his 15 years coaching. Alan might be seated to take over the illustrious Ledyard Colonel's wrestling program.
Things not looking good for Grimm right now because he is bleeding heavily, as you can see right now. And already had his one blood stoppage, got back out there, immediately started bleeding again. So,
and this can, not that I don't believe Montville's in the running for team score, but I know Ledyard is being in third. This match here, they're about to give a forfeit up. If this blood time if they can't get this blood to stop, it's going to be a forfeit, and that's the same amount of points as a pin. Now they're going old school. They said, we're running out of time. We're taping it up. This is a famous wrestling move.
All right, I'm sorry. I want to go on record right now as saying in the years that I have been doing broadcasting, this is as cool a thing as I've ever witnessed live. They just Hannibal Lectered this kid's face to make sure they could get him back onto the mat. They're in the world of where one drop of blood sends people screaming into the stands and we stop 2 hours. This kid is taped up while he's bleeding so he can finish wrestling.
This is what sets wrestlers apart from the rest of the world.
You guys win. As of right now, you officially win, CJ. No argument here.
Oh, man. Beautiful. Nice scramble roll. That was something.
5-2. Navarrete on top. Grimm now, though.
Got to figure the blood in the nose and the tape around the nose affects your breathing, too.
Absolutely. You got to think you lose your wind here faster than you would if you could breathe.
He's still pushing the pace, though. He's coming at this kid. He's looking to score. He knows that he's down and he needs to score points. That's good. That's good wrestling. A lot of guys, they just stand around. I'm wondering, you better get to work, man. You gotta put some points up on the board.
Now Navarrete, who has been the aggressor here in the early going, seems a little bit more comfortable right now, milking some time.
Yeah, he's sitting on that lead. I don't blame him. He doesn't have to do anything big right now. The Ledyard wrestler's going to need to.
Grimm, 30 seconds remaining here in the period. Grimm's going to need to do something.
He's been doing something. I don't know. The refs here, they're starting to look at each other. They're wondering, they're going to hit this Montville kid for stalling.
Oh, there's a nice
Oh, they're not going to hit him after that. No
Oh,
takedown yet, though. No takedown yet. Oh, but he's going to get it. Oh, get that hit behind.
It's got to clear that arm, get
It's
that hip
still,
around.
no, nothing yet. No takedown. No control. No control. Absolutely no control. The refs are calling it.
Beautiful job by Grimm.
That was something else. That really was.
Navarrete with a lightning quick double leg, and he had a chance at a takedown, but brilliant job by Grimm. And he'll ride out this second period still in it, down only 5-2.
Great job by Grimm using the out of bounds there to get himself out of trouble. It's part of the tactics here in wrestling. It's a chess match.
Navarrete will have top position, see if Grimm can effectuate an escape. He's up on his feet quickly. Had one earlier where Navarrete just allowed him to go. This time Navarrete's not letting him go so easily.
Almost a locked hands call on Navarrete there. The refs are looking for it.
One of our officials almost took himself down.
No, now they're hitting stall on red. All right, now we have a 1-point escape here, putting the match at 5-3.
So Grimm just needs a takedown here to tie the match
up. And he looks like he wants it. He's got a minute and a half. Oh, they already gave I don't know what that one's for. If that's the push-out rule?
Yes.
They're calling push-out rule in high school wrestling now? Or if that was for stalling.
I think that was for stalling.
That was the second stalling call. Wow.
So now 1 point away, believe it or not, hard to believe, but Grimm
Grim's
only
closing it.
minutes ago it looked like might, not even be able to wrestle because of the bloody nose, is a point away from tying this match up.
I'm glad to see the refs are calling that stalling quick, though, because we don't want people stalling out here. We want them wrestling. And, a kid gets a 2 or 3 point advantage, he can just sit on it. No control. No control. The refs know it. The coaches want their call, but you got to have control. I get a little excited. Sorry for yelling into the microphone.
No. That's why you're here. That's all right. When we have Mike tomorrow next to us, we yell at him, no control all the time.
He's out of control.
Oh, Grim went for a shot and missed it.
There's your takedown.
Grim went for the leg, went to shoot the leg, missed it, and Navarrete was able to get behind him for the takedown, and a 7-4 lead with 35 seconds remaining. There's an escape. Down to 7-5. Grim immediately goes
Grim's
for
going
the
at him. He's still in that. If he gets that takedown, he can tie it up.
Only 30 seconds here remaining in the match.
Another thing, because he already got a stalling call, I believe the next one might be 2 points. I could be wrong. That might be the third one.
So Grim tied up with Navarrete in the middle. Needs a takedown here. Navarrete knows
Going
it.
for a headlock.
He misses it though, and that's going to result, and that's going to probably end it right there.
That's probably the match.
Down 2, he had to go for it, missed it. That's twice he missed his takedowns. And with 5 seconds remaining here, we are going to see Zachary Navarrete of Montville is going to cruise on to a 9-5 win. The senior will end his senior year with an ECC championship. Braden Grimm, the junior, and the sports doctor has our 152 champion, the overtime win from Ryan Powers.
152-pound champion junior Ryan. One win as a freshman, an ECC champ as a junior. What did it take to get there?
A lot of hard work and a lot of dedication.
Maybe talk about the journey a little bit and the process.
You just got to work every day with the same level of intensity as you want to bring in your matches, because the more intense you work and practice, the better off you'll be in the match, because you'll be able to work better there too.
Great stuff. Casey?
Thank you, sports doctor. Ryan Powers with an incredible overtime win against Ian Anderson in what has, I think, been the match of the day so far. We're now on to 170, and I'm excited because here are two names, two excellent athletes, multiple sport athletes. Derek Turner, the senior from Killingly, and Adam Crawford, the senior from Ledyard. Both multiple sport athletes. We call their names often on game day, and Turner is an exceptional wrestler. Crawford, though very good, will be the underdog here today.
Yeah, I gotta give the favoritism there to Turner. Turner's come up through the youth wrestling system. He's been wrestling for a very, very long time, and it seems that Crawford more so is just an extremely athletic kid. But you can't really count anybody out here. Anything can happen, and we got 2 for Turner. And a quick reversal, but it turns out being just an escape for Crawford here.
2-1 in the early going, and we talked to Killingly coach LaBeef before the matches started, and he was very, very confident about Derek Turner today. He really felt very good about Turner's chances. He's been wrestling very well down the stretch and really felt that the senior was primed for an ECC championship.
Well, Turner's been under LaBeef's wing since he was able to walk. So Coach LaBeef has been in his corner for a very, very long time.
There's another 2 for Turner.
So he knows what he's talking about when it comes to him. Seems here that Crawford knows that Turner's the favorite, and he's trying to pull off something big. He's going for a lot of big, high-intensity throws and moves with big payoff, but not a lot of success rate.
So far, 2 takedowns for Turner, 2 escapes for Crawford, and that's the 4-2 lead you see on the board here for Derek Turner. Battle of seniors. Both very, very successful on the year. Turner only lost 3 times all year long.
Oh, got a little chin.
Crawford goes for the leg, but you can see the strength in the lower body of Turner.
These guys even move pretty quick for big guys, too. They're very, very athletic.
170 pounds, but they move like much smaller athletes. But the strength at 170 pounds, I mean, is amazing. These guys can really, really not only move athletically, but you just see Turner. I mean, he looks like he could probably squat 1,000 pounds.
And he hasn't always been built that way. That's it's a long. That's all the dedication and hard work he's put in over the years. That's really what it comes down to.
So 4-2 at the end of the first period. Derek Turner on top, and we'll move into period number 2 here at the ECC Wrestling Championships, and Crawford's going to make the decision. It's his call.
Might have some blood on the match. They're trying to get cleaned up.
That's a holdover from our previous match, as Braden Grimm of Ledyard had a bloody nose and had to have multiple blood stoppages. So Turner will be on bottom, and Crawford will see if he can maintain that position. Turner very quickly on the other is out, and Crawford just got to hold on that leg. Nice job, Crawford, though, maintaining that hold.
Out of bounds.
Really looked like Turner had an opportunity at an escape there. Crawford did a nice job maintaining the hold. Minute and a half remaining here in period number 2. Oh, missed opportunity that time, and an escape for Turner. Crawford had a chance at the leg, missed it. 5-2 now, Turner on top.
Yeah, you got to figure Killenly's looking to get some pin points here. If they could pull off a pin, that puts them in really good standings for team points, because as discussed before, a pin's 6 points. And I believe that when you place first, you only get given 4 points for your team. So if he places first and gets a pin like he's about to do right this second, they could fall it off, though.
Crawford, he's back on his back.
He wants the pin right now, but this could be 10 points added onto the team score for Killingly. He's got 50 seconds to reposition his body and end it. Put this kid lights out. Doesn't look like he's just gonna get those near fall.
So a commanding 9-2 lead for Turner. So a win, a simple win, is worth 4 points. However, a pin is worth 6. A tech fall is worth 5.5, and that's with a 15-point victory, which Turner could certainly be on his way to.
Yeah, he's on his way to a major, which is actually 8 points or more, and that would be.
And that's a 5-point win.
I believe so. I think that's actually the 4-pointer.
No, regular win is 4, 5 for the major, 5.5 for a tech fall, and 6 for a pin.
There you go. I thought I was the wrestling guy.
You are the wrestling guy. I just know the points for the matches. If you could put it on a paper in front of me, I can remember. 9-2. Turner's going to ride this thing out to the end of the period with a commanding lead. And nothing against Adam Crawford by any stretch of the imagination, but you can see Derek Turner sort of imposing his will here on Crawford, the more experienced wrestler, Turner. And I think you had it right when you said Crawford's an exceptional athlete. And you can see he's the strength and the speed, but Turner is the more technically sound wrestler, who also happens to be strong and fast.
Mm-hmm.
The physicality, a little head slap. Now button heads.
Good, it's wrestling. That's what you'd hope to see. No tickle fighting out here today.
That would take care of any chance I had. If I can't fish hook and eye gouge and I'm done. I don't know what else to do.
Throw a little sand in the eyes.
That's a little blood slow, absolutely. A little kumite action. That's right, Mike DeMauro. I said kumite.
Mike DeMauro, he fought in the kumite a couple of years back, I remember.
That's right.
Did pretty good against Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, people know that's who that character was. Frank Dukes was actually modeled after Mike DeMauro.
That's what I heard. In the autobiography.
Turner with a 9-2 lead as we're heading down to a minute, and Crawford running out of gas a little bit, I think, here, as he has had a lot of effort to ward off a very aggressive Derek Turner.
Killing the coaches look really, really calm, though. Not really saying much. They're just kind of letting Turner wrestle.
There's not much to say when you have a senior veteran like that. He shoots the legs, has an opportunity at a takedown, but they're going to go out of bounds.
Good hips by Crawford and got out of bounds, but you got to figure the Killingly coaches here are thinking, hey, I want that major, I want that tech, I want that pin. We need these extra points because Waterford's nipping at our heels.
That's right. Any extra point you can get here in the team competition, as good as 4 is, 6 is better.
It's not just a point that decides this tournament. It could be a half a point.
That's correct.
Oh. Crawford's got a whizzer in. They're basically in an equal position, but looks like Turner's gonna finish it, but you never know. Something big could happen. Oh, Turner. 2, and he just secured that major decision we were speaking about.
And so now Turner has 10 seconds remaining. He's going to ride this thing out. And we're going to see a victory for Killingly. Yep. A game Adam Crawford, but Derek Turner will pull off the victory at 170. The Sports Doctor's down on the mat. He's got our 160 winner, Zachary Navarrete of Montville.
160-pound champion Zachary Navarrete. Listen, when you see a little blood out there in your opponent, you gain a mental advantage.
I feel like I do because I know like when people are bleeding, they start to feel tired and they just want to get the match over with. So I know at that point I got the mental edge on them and I can start attacking and getting takedowns because I know that they're not going to sprawl as well because they're afraid they're going to bleed more, and it's better to be mentally there.
Feels good going out in style.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Casey?
Thank you, Sports Doctor. Congratulations to Derek Turner of Killingly with an 11-2 win. And now perhaps some might call the biggest favorite of the day, Jacob Commander, the undefeated senior from New London, against sophomore Jackson Harshberger of Waterford. And Harshberger is most definitely an underdog in this match. Commander, 18-0 on the year, and many people believe a definitive favorite in this match. And that says all you need to know. Mike Commander is watching Jacob from his military base in Hawaii, and he sees Jacob grab 2 and give up and escape 2-1 Commander in the early going.
Yeah, his older brother was quite the wrestler for the New London Whalers. Much smaller in stature, but the whole family has that explosive athleticism. They're athletes, man. This kid is built.
Well, you know, every once in a while you come across a sort of freak athlete, and Jacob Commander is that. He's quick, he's strong, he is agile, he is
power behind it.
Exactly, 182 pounds packed into the body. If you asked me to draw up an athlete's body, Jacob Commander has it. And he's also much smarter than people, I think, realize in terms of wrestling. He's got wrestling savvy that I don't know, you know, some kids get taught, some kids learn, but Commander has a real good feel when he's on the mat, and he's already got Harshberger in some trouble.
He's a scrapper. I think that's the whole New London team. I'd say they're fighters, man. Look at them. That's just pure athleticism. To get your body under somebody, only to lift them up and off the mat, driving them forward. That takes explosiveness.
Already 10-3, Commander on top here in the first period. And Harshberger's mom, Marcy, is watching right now, and I will say good days ahead for Jackson Harshberger, only a sophomore. And I made mention that having to wrestle Jacob Commander would be worth gaining weight for. I would say, oh no, I can't weigh in at 182 anymore. I'm so sorry, Coach. I had a box of Krispy Kremes beforehand. But Harshberger is up to the challenge, and he is gamely battling at the end of one period. Commander on top, 12-3. But you know, each year there's someone in the ECCs that everyone's looking towards. I think Jacob Commander is one of those wrestlers. And so it's almost like, who's the poor soul that has to get matched up against them? How much can this match send Jackson Harshberger forward? He's only a sophomore. How much can this match, you know, propel him to big things in his junior and senior year?
I think it's very possible. You know, I'm sure his coach is already in his ear, letting him know that you're a sophomore at not at the lower weights, but at the upper weights here. Look who's got to wrestle. You know, the kid's doing great. The coaches should be proud of him. Family should be proud of him. You got to go up against Goliath. You got to have it takes a lot, man. He's the kid. He's got to be brave to go out against. I don't want to wrestle Commander. We'll put it that way.
No, it's a challenge, and you see 2 more being awarded here for Commander now, 12-4 with the lead. And he's got a nice lock that he's trying to get him over onto his back. There's the arm.
And a little fun fact, this is going to be, if he can pull off the win and it's looking that way, this is going to be Jacob Commander's 3rd ECC title.
Yeah, and that's remarkable. Not many people. We only have, you know, a handful of people who are 3-time. 4 times is, you know,
4 times there's only 4. There's only one of them's here today, Chris Capolo out of Fitch.
Yep.
You got TJ Hepburn.
I remember TJ was great wrestler.
TJ was the max commander of our time, but even elevated.
Of course, another Fitch, last year's
Jared Cosman,
one of the great wrestlers.
National champ, and his family's here today. And then you got I think it was Chris Kelly, one of the Kelly brothers out of East Lyme. They had a really good run in the 90s. Look, there's that athleticism.
Oh, just absolutely buries Harshberger. and took all the gas out of Harshberger.
That should be back. That should be scream roll right there. I don't know how many. That's a tech. The match is over. It should be after that. That wasn't a slam at all. The refs didn't call it as a slam.
But just the force and the speed of Commander. Harshberger goes to the ground hard to the mat, and the trainer is out immediately. And the air and the rib cage just took an absolute jolt to the mat. But he appears to be more than anything else. Just appears to be the wind just got completely knocked out of him.
Yep. Oh, he's right back up.
Well, good for you, Jackson Harshberger.
No near fall.
And Jackson's grandfather is watching from Mississippi, and we want to tell you that your grandson is one tough kid. 14-6. They have on the scoreboard. We have it 14-5. "20 seconds remaining in period 2. Now, you were talking earlier about how hard it is to come in and win an ECC championship. I mean, you're no stranger to this. You were the favorite any number of times. It's hard to come in and win an ECC championship.
It is. It is. I told you before. I was number 1 seed all 4 years I wrestled, and I only won it one time.
Man, it's not easy. It's hard to win these things.
There's tough competition here in the ECC. There really is. Wyndham, Waterford, Ledyard. They've been tough programs in the past. New London's on the way up. All different programs, and it goes up and down. But the ECC does its best. It's definitely one of the top. I'd say the FCAC's probably the best conference around, but the ECC is a close second.
I think Harshberger just made Commander angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Oh no.
The green reminiscent of the Hulk, and I think we just saw Commander get a little mad because Harshberger, to his credit, isn't backing away. He went and scooped him, picked him up, put him down hard. And Commander, I think, is going to try to turn this thing up a notch here with a 10-point lead. Harshberger, though, I give him credit.
They go big for a big throw and get him on his back. He wants that pin. Winning in the ECC finals is fun, but pinning in the ECC finals is even better.
19-7, a commanding lead.
Nice crossface here. Got a minute left. 12-point differential. If he either puts up 3 points and gets that to be a 15-point differential, we'll see the tech. But he's going for it right now. He's trying to take control of that arm. We'll just see what he's going to work. Might be working a infamous country boy wrestling move that's called. We'll see what he's doing. Now he's going for the 3/4. This is like a highly lethal move. You get put in this the right way, it's night-night. Your shoulder blade's going to be flat on the mat, and he is so strong. So
there he goes.
You got to figure he's going to get him over. Now he lost the leg.
No, he's got him
but
now.
Here it is. You got the Saturday Night Rider, and that's the match. Great job by the sophomore, though, going against. That's a tough command. He's not going to see many more opponents like that in his career.
Jacob Commander with the win. Sports Doctor's got Derek Turner at 170. Sports Doctor.
170-pound winner, Derek Turner. Derek, what does your dominating performance individually mean as a team?
As a team, I knew coming in that my job was going to be to win the tournament. So coming in and doing this was great for our team. Hopefully help us place first. So it's always great.
Going out in style as a senior, aren't you?
Oh yeah, of course. You love going out with a bang senior year, last tournament win. So it's always great.
Team sport, Casey.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. Premier match coming up. The guys are getting noticeably bigger now. Now we're starting to get out in my weight class, but the problem is that I'm about half their size.
And guess what? Commander's still bigger than these guys somehow.
Johnny Falco, the senior from Griswold, 33-1 on the year.
Record.
David Toma, the junior from Lyman Memorial, has his work cut out for him. And immediately you see Falco shoot the leg and go for a takedown early. These two will be hyper aggressive at 195. Well, Jacob Commander certainly lived up to the billing with a dominating performance in his senior year's ECC final, recording the pin on a very game sophomore. But Jacob Commander, a little too much here in his senior year.
Pretty sure Johnny Falco here at Griswold is the younger brother of Dustin Falco, who I believe is at least, if not more, than a one-time Class S state champion for Griswold. And I think I even see him over there coaching right now with other head coach Dana Cook, who's been been coaching for quite some time as well.
The two big guys just feeling their way through right now. Oh, nice job that time. Falco pulled him in. Good defensive wrestling, though, from Toma. I like that move by Falco, though. He grabbed him by the arm and yanked him towards him and then spun around.
That's called an arm drag.
Right now, neither able to secure a point. 30 seconds remaining here in period number 1.
Feeling each other out. Oh man, Falco, that blast double. Can he finish it?
Nice job. Toma seems very, very good defensively. Falco has, I think, at least 3 times been able to pull and not able to finish off the takedown.
Yeah, he's getting in on those doubles, but the other kid's hips, he's hitting that sprawl and he's getting his hips down and just stopping it for now, it seems. But I got a feeling he's going to keep pushing it. He's going to get that double. He's going to secure it.
Lyman Memorial, of course, is in a co-op with Wyndham Tech, and that is where Toma is wrestling out of. Technically, he is Wyndham Tech. So the Lyman Memorial Wyndham Tech co-op against Griswold Johnny Falco. Toma will take bottom position, and Falco will stay on top, trying to ride out. No points yet, as we are early in period number 2. So when you're on the mat like that, what kinds of things are your coaches yelling to you, and are you listening?
Well, me, man, I was a bit of a hard head, and I didn't listen as much as I should have. And now I'm paying for that with my youth wrestlers who don't listen to a dang thing I say. You got to figure that this is a loud gym, man. I can't even hear myself think sometimes, let alone these guys are in the middle of the mat, huffing and puffing. They got another guy trying to kill him in front of them, and on top of that, you're wearing headgear. So you got to kind of just know what you're doing. The coaches, they want to yell things, and they think that they're a remote control for their wrestlers, but they're really not. The wrestlers got to wrestle, and they got to figure it out themselves. The coaches, they're there to, encourage them and yell stuff that they see, but in the end, I don't see the wrestlers really hearing it as much as you'd think.
Was there anything that your coaches did yell to you while you were wrestling that you were able to hear and process? Was it more of a reminder, or were you really just so focused you didn't see it?
It was more so in between periods, you'd kind of, while decisions are being made, you kind of look over at your coaches and you can hear something. But when the actual wrestling's going on, it's not easy to hear it. But you talk to a couple other coaches, I heard them all saying this today. Brent Smith out of Waterford. When I wrestled, my dad, you could hear him over everybody. He'd be up in the top of the stand screaming, "Charles, under the arms," or whatever. I could always hear him.
It's not a bad imitation, by the way.
I didn't want to, it'd be much louder. I didn't want to
be.
do it I didn't want to blow anybody's speakers at home.
Johnny Falco with a 3-0 lead here at a near fall a moment ago. David Toma riding out this second period after what was a scoreless first period, and Toma is exhausted. Toma has been on the defensive for almost the entirety of this match as we count down to the end of the second period. So Falco has really just dominated the action here. Toma's got to be cooked. 4 minutes of just, trying to keep Falco at bay. A lot of effort in that near fall to stay away from the pin.
You talk about body types, though, and this kid Falco is definitely thicker. He's got, he's wider. The other kid's a little bit more lankier. Those type of things do affect the wrestling match. It's one body versus another body.
Toma with his first opportunity here has got the arm. What's he looking to do here? He's got that arm underneath. Oh, look at the strength of Falco, though.
Drive out.
Falco, so strong. That was very impressive.
The other kid drove him out, though. They're both strong wrestlers here. Yeah, Falco seems to be the stronger one.
Toma right now trying desperately to get Falco onto his back, and there's a quick reversal from Falco.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's textbook right there.
5-0, Johnny Falco looking to pitch the shutout here in his senior championship match in the 195-pound weight class. He's not letting Toma go. 1:06 remaining here, 5-0 Falco on top.
Yeah, about a minute and 6 seconds, and this guy's looking to be a ECC champion. Never count the Wyndham Tech lineman wrestler out, though. He can always turn this around.
Plenty of time. All it takes is one mistake. But right now, Toma looks like he is running on empty, and Falco very much in control. You can just see the body language of the wrestlers right now. Falco is very calm, in control, and Toma has been just fighting uphill this whole match.
Well, Toma's got to realize that he's got 40 seconds left and 5 points to score, and he's been getting ridden the whole time. So it's a little defeating to be under there. To believe in yourself, you got to be a little bit crazy. But
Toma,
hey,
there you go. Toma trying for
up.
the escape. There's his point. Well, he's not going to get shut out. Now he needs something big in the last 20 seconds.
Those high intensity moves, those throws, those feet to back. That's what he needs right now. He's got to go big. Hoping Falco makes a mistake. He can capitalize on it. Goes in for a nice high crotch. Falco with a strong cross face, keeping him off. Looks like he's going to finish this out strong.
8 seconds remaining in the 195 class, and Johnny Falco, the senior from Griswold, seconds away from an ECC championship. And a game David Toma is going to just see time run out. And Falco is your champion. The sports doctor is down with our own game day favorite, Jacob Commander.
182-pound champion and game day favorite, Jacob Commander from the Northern High School. 21-0 on the year. Find yourself getting stronger as the season grows on?
Of course, definitely. You know, I get new matches, new competition, and it all comes in, and I just absorb all of that strength. And I feel like I put that out there.
Football or wrestling, son?
Wrestling looks like it.
Yeah, wrestling looks like it. Casey?
Thank you, sports doctor. I'd like to be as talented as him in either. Now we're going to see his teammate, Jaden Mackenzie, the sophomore, only a sophomore at New London, against Corey Carr, the big senior from Griswold, in the 220-pound match. Now we're starting to get to some of the big ones.
These are some big boys right here.
Now, as I came to learn, just because you wrestle at 220 doesn't mean you need to weigh 220.
No.
So, and it does look like Mackenzie is a slightly undersized 220 compared to Carr.
Yeah. They do that sometimes. So the weight class below is 195. So basically, if you're over 195, you're 196 if you're not counting the weight allowance they give. But if you're 196, you would wrestle in the 220 weight class, giving up possibly, it's looking like my math serves me correctly, close to 25 pounds.
Right. And quite honestly, he's at New London. So he's not, if there's somebody like a Jacob Commander at his weight class, he's going to go up or down in order to wrestle. Because you're not going to wrestle if you're going to, because you can't beat Jacob Commander in your own weight. So you're going to have to go up. And if that means, gaining 5 pounds and you're not getting much bigger. I remember a friend of mine who wrestled at Waterford said that his heavyweight was an undersized heavyweight and hated wrestling heavy because he used to get beat up by some of the guys. So he lost some weight, and they were in the same weight class, and so he was had to wrestle heavyweight as an undersized heavy. And 285 he's wrestling, and he only weighed maybe 220 at the time.
I can do you one better. When I was a senior, I wrestled with John Gabordi. He was our heavyweight.
Yeah.
And he was actually he was under 195. So before weigh-ins, he'd be chugging Gatorades, eating food, trying to weigh more. So he could go over that 195 weight class and actually bump up to 285. So he would bump up a weight class on top of that.
Wow.
So he's given up 100 pounds, and the kid went on to win. Never won a state title, but he would lose in the finals. But he went on to take out some of the best wrestlers that were full-grown 285-pounders, using maybe his speed and wrestling knowledge against him.
That's crazy. We're seconds away from a scoreless first period as Mackenzie and Carr will go to the end of one. No score. Jaden Mackenzie, only a sophomore.
This is anybody's match. You know me, I'm rooting for the green and gold guy, not the green and white guy, but it looks like looks like these guys could go all 3 periods. Could be a real close match. They usually are with the heavier matches too. You get up to 285, usually, for the most part, you don't see 15 points being scored.
A lot of hugs. A lot of hugs going on.
A lot of hugs, a lot of pushing. And the big guys always get along. They always go out to dinner after.
Carr doing a nice job. Mackenzie gets him back in the middle of the mat, trying to get him so that he can get an escape, but Carr does a great job.
Ooh, lock. Oh, the refs are missing it.
Carr getting away with it. Mackenzie trying to spin out and effectuate an escape.
Oh, I think he might have it. He's got that one. All right, Mackenzie takes the lead here. Yeah, and one more time then. This kid, Jaden Mackenzie, is a sophomore. That's something, especially for these upper weights. For a sophomore to be in this finals match and actually currently winning the match says something about him and the Whaler program and their coaches and what they're doing over there.
New London, as you're well in tune with youth wrestling in New London. So, but New London has really come on the scene as a wrestling program over the last 5 to 8 years. New London always put out a good wrestler or two.
They always had good athletes that crossed over to wrestling. Yes, I agree, but they never really had the depth. And
that's right.
That's why we're doing the youth program, and we're trying to send Coach Gorton and Coach Rashid some wrestlers instead of just some tough athletic kids who want to scrap.
Beautiful takedown by Mackenzie to take a 3-0 lead on Carr.
Turning up the enthusiasm here. He's excited about that takedown.
Almost has him on he's trying to ride him over onto his
back.
He's
the
close.
Sophomore is looking for the pin.
Almost over.
He wants it.
He's fighting it.
They're saying they're out. The ref's saying it's out of bounds, so there's no back points being awarded. Bring him in bounds. All right, they gave 3 near fall.
6-0 lead for Mackenzie as we get to the end
I thought
of
it was
the
lights
period.
out there. It was close.
I'll tell you, the Mackenzie young man is a very
physical specimen.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he is for a sophomore. That kid's 15 years old, and that's I didn't look like that when I was 15. I can tell you that.
I never looked like that. 15, 20, 25. God bless him.
1 second remaining. He'll take a 6-0 lead into the third period. Going back when I was at New London in the 80s, early 90s, they would forfeit 8 matches, but they would win 4 or 5 matches with the guys they had, but they just didn't have the depth, like you said. It's nice to see a program like New London, not a traditional wrestling school in a lot of people's minds.
We're real good at basketball, football and baseball.
It's tough in the winter going up against, and wrestling has really now to see the full roster. Coach Robledo's done a beautiful job, and
Coach Gorton also.
Yep.
They also got Coach Kenny O'Brien. O'Brien and Gorton, former Lancers.
Yes.
Former Lancer wrestlers.
We're down here now into the final period. 1:30 remaining, a 6-0 lead for sophomore Jaden Mackenzie of New London. New London looking to have multiple ECC champions here as Jacob Commander won his match moments ago.
You got to figure these two are drill partners too. You got to figure that Jacob Commander takes athletic kid like Jaden Mackenzie here, and they wrestle all year. There's no way that Mackenzie's not getting good off of that.
Yeah, you're right. Wrestling someone like that day in and day out just can only make you better.
They're the weight class. He's the weight class up. So I got to figure that they do a lot of drilling, and you probably could thank Mr. Commander for some of the success you see this young man having out on the mat.
Under a minute to go, and the pace is picking up a little bit here as Carr realizing that he needs to do something down 6-0, and Mackenzie seems like his motor is still moving quite well. Carr, though, down 6-0, shoots for the leg, tries to get
nice
it. Nice
cross face by Mackenzie, and he spins behind for the 2 takedown.
Beautifully done. And now he wants to get him over on his back. He's got him underneath again. This is what we saw last time. He's got the arm. He's trying to get him over on the shoulders. There he goes.
Got 20 seconds. He wants a pin, but he's got the major so far.
8-0 lead for sophomore Jaden Mackenzie. What a beautiful effort here.
He's working him.
In the 220-pound weight class. 5 seconds remaining here. And Jaden Mackenzie, the sophomore, is going to give New London its second ECC champion with an 8-0 lead. The Sports Doctor, what do you got?
195-pound champion from Griswold, Johnny Falco. Johnny, you talked about it finally being your time. What did it take to get here?
Hard work in the weight room and in the wrestling mat. We work hard as a team. We got big football players that come in and give us workouts every day.
Your brother finished second in the ECCs. You won it.
Yeah, so I guess I'm better than him.
All right, Casey.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. There is nothing better than the family atmosphere surrounding wrestling. The brothers who have wrestled, their parents who have wrestled, and you see the competitive nature. We have not yet seen one of the 3 Sheeran brothers who are in the finals today. Danny Sheeran, David Sheeran, and Mike Sheeran. 3 will be coming up here. But we have our 285-pound match. Rourke Ryan, the junior from St. Bernard's. He wrestles out of Norwich Tech. And Renee Bernier, the senior from Killingly. Total of 6 losses total between these 2 guys this year.
I actually had the privilege of reffing Rourke's one of his first state finals matches ever that he won. These boys are ready to bang.
Oh, Coach LaBeef not happy about that.
Coach LaBeef says, you're lucky you're lucky I got the crutches. I'm not going to step out and show you how we do it.
I think he could still probably, that's one man I would not want to get into a match with. He looks like he could still wreck shop.
Well, back in, I don't know, I think it was 1300 or something, he was a New York State champion. He absolutely dominated the competition. He was, and not to mention, he's probably one of the most storied and best coaches from the youth level all the way up to high school that we have in the state of Connecticut. That's why you see Killingly's success they're having out here on the mat today.
285 pounds. These are large young men.
These boys have been this size since they were born.
There is a lot of size out there. We talked earlier about what a great name for a wrestling coach, right? LaBeef.
LaBeef.
I mean, that's,
unless he was a lightweight. That wouldn't make much sense. The oldest son, Mike, actually was a heavyweight at 285, and I think he might have even been a state open champ. Actually, no, I think he was a finalist, but the other 2 were definitely lightweights. He must have ate all the food, I think.
No score yet here in our 285 match. Rourke Ryan has been the aggressor for Norwich Tech, wrestling with the co-op with St. Bernard's, but...
Ooh, nice Russian takeoff, but Rourke gets the control with a snap down, and he spins. Man, these big boys are moving like lightweights. I got to give it to them. These big boys are out here moving around.
The strength involved with these guys, because you're trying to move 285 pounds around. And not only are you trying to move their 285, you got to contend with your own.
Yeah, it's hard enough to get your own 285 up and off the mat, let alone somebody else's.
And when you're at 285, things like spinning, I mean, it's like trying to stop a super tanker. You don't think you just stop on a dime.
We just got a stalling call from the refs here. The Killingly kid had hit a stand-up, and Rourke Ryan was kind of just, instead of bringing him to the mat, was kind of just standing there. You got to work to wrestle, so they ended up hitting him with the warning for stalling.
Ryan with a 2-0 lead here as we start period number 2, and Bernier will start on the bottom, and Ryan will start on top for Norwich Tech with their co-op with St. Bernard's here. You're watching the ECC Wrestling Championships live from Fitch High School. Casey O'Neill along with CJ Saddy, the sports doctor, is down on the mats as we are watching a good one here as it's reversal.
Killingly just got that reversal.
2-2, Bernier and Ryan. And
Bernier, it's over, it's over. Oh man, that's so big. That's so big for Killingly. Coach LaBeef is excited. I think the whole gym's excited after that one, turning around. That might have even been an upset. That's the big boys. Once you get on your back, it's not very easy to get off.
Out of nowhere, Bernier. Keith, you've got our 220 winner, the Whaler.
220-pound champion sophomore from the London, Jaden Mackenzie. 5th to 1st. Last year 5th, this year 1st. How easy was it for you to get that big lead and then kind of do your thing?
To get that half on him was pretty hard. He's a strong kid. Gotta give credit to him. Good competition today. I loved it. Great match.
Wrestling with a team like Jacob Commander, it's got to really help you and fuel you.
Oh yeah, Jacob makes me so much better. He's a brick house. He's a brick house.
Casey, sky's the limit for this sophomore.
Absolutely. Here we are at 106, and we see the first of the Sheerans. It's Killingly's Danny Sheeran, and just like that, he's on top 2-0. The senior. Now he's wrestling a very good freshman Connor Doran of Ledyard, only a freshman, to be in the ECC finals as a freshman, and you have to wrestle a Sheeran brother. That says an awful lot.
That's tough.
I mean, give the freshman a lot of credit to get to an ECC final at that age. That, you know, as a freshman, that's a lot.
It is. It is. You're going to see it more. It's more prevalent in these lighter weights, but you know, it doesn't happen as much as in the bigger weights.
And that's
we got a stack right here.
He's got Doran in trouble already.
Oh.
And I'm going to guess it's because the younger kids are typically the lighter kids, the small kids coming in as freshmen.
You got it.
So you don't see, and this is what Coach LaBeef was talking about, a senior, Danny Sheeran at 106. You don't see a lot of kids that stay that weight through their 4 years.
You got to figure it gives Sheeran a huge physical and even maturity advantage over all these kids when it comes down to it.
And one guy's wrestled probably, you know, close to 160 high school matches, and the other has wrestled, you know, 30 high school matches.
That's a lot.
So just the experience of high school wrestling is enormous. And Sheeran, you can see here, dominating the early going.
Working this tilt into a stack. He's got the bridge though. He's not on his back. He's looking in good position to not get pinned.
Sheeran putting on a clinic so far as the aggressiveness, and Doran doing a great job defensively trying to avoid the pin, but he is being eaten up right now by Danny Sheeran at 106.
Yeah, Sharon's trying to put the kill on him. It's almost about over. He's got to just get the legs. He's got the Saturday Night Riding or the Grapevines. It's close. He's got to lift that head. Oh, and time's ran out.
But he's going to get a big set of near fall points here, and he's going to take a 7-0 lead
looks
going
like
into the end of the period.
Put one. Oh no, they're messing with us. Those score kids. They got to get this thing down. But yeah, you're right. 7-0.
I'm not right often, but when I'm right, 65% of the time, I'm right all the time. 7-0 as Sheeran will take the bottom position here, and the young freshman from Ledyard High School, Connor Doran, will be on top. Let's see if he can do something from that top position.
So yeah, as expected, you got Danny Sheeran out here putting a dominating performance on.
And
that one was a slam.
Very tall.
Bill Heimer saying, "Are you kidding me?" That one was. I would consider that one a slam. But this is wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. So
I'm impressed with the length of Danny Sheeran. He's tall. He's not the freshman Doran, who's probably going to grow 5 more inches, and while he's in high school.
Yeah.
This is Sheeran's size. He's long and tall for 106.
And that's where you're going to find wrestling's a sport where the small guy can be successful. You're not going to find a 5'2" kid out on the basketball court. So maybe they get cut from the middle school basketball team. They realize it's not their thing, and we try to pull them out to wrestle and say, hey, this can be your thing.
I wrestled for a week my freshman year of high school. Yeah, they thought it would be good for me to stay in shape for baseball. I went out, and Coach Fran DePeter had me out on the mats, and I dislocated my shoulder 30 seconds into a first time, and I said, you know what?
Maybe this isn't for me.
You guys have fun with it. So.
Yeah, Fran DePeter, he still does announcing outside at the Whaler Wrestling matches. I lucky enough to work with him on St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee in New London.
10-0, Danny Sheeran, the senior, on top here in the 106 final of the ECC Wrestling Championships, live from Fitch High School. Casey O'Neill along with CJ Saddy. And the sports doctor on the sidelines has had the great honor of interviewing all of these champions as they come off the mat. He'll be with our senior champion, our heavy, our 285 in a moment, but Danny Sheeran in the second period with a commanding 10-0 lead at 106.
I could be wrong. I don't know. We got to check, have Mike tomorrow check Flo Arena over there to see what our team scores are, but I think this match could seal it up for Killingly.
Well, that's a good point, which is if it does, takes a little bit away from the match of the night, which is coming up next. So if you need to use the bathroom, folks, go do it now, because the 113 matchup between Logan Smith and Mike Sheeran, the two seniors, 1 loss apiece, it is going to be, in many people's minds, the match of the day, an epic battle between veteran, tough kids. So let's find out. Right now, your score, Killingly has 200, Waterford 182. That's the match right now,
Yeah.
200 to 182, and I think that's
I hate to take the heat out of our next match because it's going to be a great matchup regardless of team scores. It's going to be an individual matchup.
Oh, it's over now, though.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it for Killingly.
Well, it is because Waterford only has. That's it.
Yeah,
so
and the most points they could get is about 10. If Logan Smith was to pin Mike Sheeran, that'd be 10 points, I believe.
They can't get there.
So Killingly's your ECC champ, and it's looking like Waterford's gonna end in second place. Or did
Ledyard still has Tyler Miller, who's a favorite.
Oh, who is a favorite, yeah.
But you still have Logan Smith for Waterford, so Ledyard still technically could catch a Waterford.
So I guess maybe this Logan Smith versus Mike Sheeran match will be not affect for first and second, but actually for second and third, which still matters.
Absolutely. We're seeing a nice job right now. The freshman for Ledyard, Connor Doran, is doing a real nice job riding out Danny Sheeran for a while here in the third period.
Yeah, Sheeran just got to stay off his back all the rest of the period. No, he gets an escape though.
Oh, and a beautiful reversal as well.
Now, that would be a takedown though.
Okay.
He got the escape, so they were on their feet.
Yep.
And when you're on your feet, you're actually in a neutral position.
So it's considered a takedown.
So it would be a takedown.
Thank you.
But now, if he was just on the bottom, and he went from bottom to top, that would be a reversal. And that's when you get your 2 points.
Gotcha. So you're more than just a pretty face and a beard.
Yeah, I know that you get points for certain things here in wrestling, but that's about it. That's all I got going for me.
13 seconds remaining, and Danny Sheeran will be your 106-pound champion here in the ECC, the first of 3 Sheeran brothers.
Yeah, well, the 3 Sheeran brothers tonight that are in the finals, but there was actually a 4th Sheeran brother in the lineup for Killingly last year.
That's insane.
I was doing the announcing for the New London versus Killingly match last year, and I'm reading the book and I'm reading the lineup, and I say, 133, Sheeran, 145, Sheeran. I go down 4 in a row. They didn't put any initials for the first name, so of course I just say Sheeran.
There's your champion.
There he is,
Danny
big
Sheeran.
smile.
Congratulations.
He's been working very hard for this. Many years.
The sports doctor's got our biggin down there. Renee Bernier, sports doctor.
285-pound champion Rainey Bernier from Killingly High School. Boy, 4 years. What did it take in that 4 years to get here to be ECC champ?
Lots of hard work, off-season practice, in-season, making sure I miss absolutely no practice if possible. Lifting weights, I haven't missed a workout ever. I get extra workouts. I'm not surprised.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, feels amazing.
4 years of hard work pays off, Case.
Thank you, sports doctor. Here it is, perhaps the match of the day. Logan Smith has not lost in state this year. Defending state champion. Mike Sheeran, Killingly, also a champion, has only lost once as well.
Ooh.
And they are at 113.
Oh, Smith in quick on that low single. Can he finish into a double? Oh no, Sharon's got the good hips. Yeah, this is gonna be exciting. I can already tell.
Logan Smith is a hyper-aggressive wrestler. Sheeran is as well. They both don't mind being up off their feet. Logan Smith pinned one of his opponents in 9 seconds this year.
Logan with 2 takedown. Father and son combo, Brent Smith, senior and junior, Matt side, very excited. They coached Logan through all the years. Seen Logan grow up. He was this good when he was 5. He was just one of those kids that you were like, wow, he has something.
He's ahead 2-1 right now, and he's trying to spin out of the front lock here by
Sharon's in control of this, though. If he can spin behind, ooh, tried a little funk roll.
You can see the energy in the gym picked up as well because they realize that they're seeing some very, very talented young men right now. Oh, look at the quickness of Smith.
Ooh. This guy's moving a little bit quicker than those 285-pounders.
The 285-pounders eat sandwiches at lunch that these guys
Oh,
have.
yeah.
See Sheeran right now. He's trying to stay low as Smith is very, very quick to those single legs. There's another one right there. Single leg by Smith.
Oh.
is. Takedown.
Looks like Smith's, he wants this. He's trying to finish out his senior year. I know he's had some injuries in past postseasons. He's trying to finish out strong. He wants to take home this open title.
Yeah, the only thing missing from his resume is a state open championship. He hurt his ankle last year and decided not to wrestle in the open, and this is the year. It's got it all working for him. He's wrestling is as good as he has ever wrestled right now, and he has a 4-2 lead, which he will take into the second period against Killingly senior Mike Sheeran.
And you know, when you get that open championship, those other notches on the belt, they don't seem to matter as much. So that's the big show. That's the real deal. You know, conference isn't, to win a conference title is a very big deal, but even a class title, but the state open, it's the coveted prize of the state community.
There's only 14 of them, so there's only, you know, to say you're the best at your weight amongst everybody else is
there's no question in it, because it happened. The wrestling match happened. You won. Your hand got raised. No one can say, you know, like on a football field, oh, this guy dropped the ball or didn't pass it or missed the hit. But on wrestling, it's on you.
You're in a 4-3 barn burner, but now Smith with a beautiful job gets behind for the 6-3 lead.
This is going to be a fun wrestling match. This is the type of wrestling that keeps people on the edge of their seats.
Yeah, you get the impression that one false move in either direction, and you could see somebody on their back in a hurry.
That's the case. I think Logan Smith is pacing himself. He's gonna try to chip away at this lead. So far, there's really not much change though.
You can tell he's very confident in his ability to take Sheeran down because he's completely allowing the escape so that he can get back to position because he feels that comfortable.
Yep. Doing a lot of dancing out here on the wrestling mat. See some wrestling.
Under a minute here, 6-4. Smith on top. This has been where he has used his quickness to spin around.
Ooh.
Oh, beautifully done.
See, now Smith is under him, and you'd think Sheeran's in the better position, but if Smith can control that elbow and that arm, he's actually in control.
He's got good leverage right now if he can just, there it is. If he can
his head's on top now.
But a little bit of a missed opportunity that time. I thought Smith was going to have an opportunity to sneak out and around.
Oh, Sheeran with the quick shot off the whistle.
How
Smith
quick?
capitalizes, big throw. Still nothing. We got a wrestling match here. I love it.
Yeah, Smith wanted to go for the big move right there, but Sheeran was able to collapse. This is where Smith is so dangerous, though. So quick. Let's see if he can get some points before the end of the period.
We still got a whole period. There's only two-point differential in the score.
6-4, and we head into the third period. We asked Coach LaBeef, I said, is Mikey Sheeran going to be able to give
I think
this?
Brent Smith's taken down. Oh, excuse me, Logan Smith.
I asked Coach LaBeef, I said, are you going to be able to make, is this going to be a match? And he said, yeah. No, he's like, my kid's going to wrestle with him. So they really believed that the two of them were
they're both state champions.
Matched. That's right.
Yeah, you got to figure they're both. Even if Logan Smith is the favorite, this kid knows that, and he's trying to become the new favorite.
We got an injured finger, Logan Smith. Now, I got to imagine, just like the bloody noses, the fingers have to just take an absolute beating out there wrestling. I mean, how many times do you pop, dislocate, and sprain a finger right in the middle of a match?
A lot. You just got to wrestle through it. It's wrestling. This happens. The bloody noses, you get poked in the eye, you're going to get basically punched in the face, you're going to get black eyes, you're going to get bloody lips, bloody noses. You're going to break bones. But you live to fight another day.
Sheeran will be on top, Smith on the bottom with a 2-point lead. Oh, quick, look at that.
Oh.
Look at the speed there by Smith, but nice job by Sheeran holding on.
On the hips. Uh-oh, Sharon's in a good position here. Logan's moving, though.
So quick.
Got to figure the crowd's also cheering against anybody that's not Killingly today, as they're secure in the first place.
Sharon's holding on here, though.
Yeah. He's got to do more than hold on. He can't just ride him out. He's got to turn him on his back if he wants to win. These Killingly wrestlers, not that Logan Smith hasn't, but the Sheeran kid, just like Logan, they've been wrestling a very, very long time. They know what they're doing on top. Very methodical. They can get those pinpoints, but Logan Smith, again, just beautiful, beautiful escape.
Not to mention the Sheerans have been wrestling each other.
They have their own, the Sheerans are their own wrestling team. I don't even know why they're wearing a Killingly singlet. Should just say Sheeran on it.
Oh, nice takedown.
Oh, right to the half. Smith's going nuts. He wants the pin. Got 2 near fall.
And just like that, an 11-4 lead for Logan Smith.
Oh, that's a takedown. They never went out of bounds.
11-5, Smith on top with just under a minute remaining here in the third period. Imploring Logan to finish what he started here. Sheeran needs to make something happen here. He goes for the single.
Let's go, Logan!
So quick is Smith, however. Hear the crowd imploring Logan Smith.
Stalemate.
Yeah, with 37 seconds
the
remaining,
refs
we
are
got to get
agreeing
him out
to
of
me.
bounds.
Let's see if they're going to call it. They've been on that. Oh, now they're stalling. I don't know about that call, but I mean they're getting paid the big bucks, so we'll let them make the calls.
33 seconds, an 11-5 lead for Logan Smith. Sheeran, he kind of took Sheeran in. Now Smithson got him in good shape, though. Who's got the advantage right now?
No one. Well, now it's looking like Sheeran.
There's 2.
He's letting him up.
He needs points.
He's
He needs
got
to
to
throw.
go for a big throw. He's got to go for something big. Oh, he's going for just another reversal.
10 seconds remaining. Logan Smith trying to hold on. Sheeran is out of gas as well, though. There he spins him over. But Logan Smith, a 12-7 win. The Sports Doctor is with our 106 champion, Danny Sheeran.
106-pound champion, senior from Killingly, Danny Sheeran. Danny, your victory today sealed the team victory overall today. How does that feel, back-to-back years?
That feels amazing. I love the team, and we always work hard, and we keep working hard, getting stronger together.
And some of your teammates said you were on the mat actually before you could walk. You've been wrestling a long time. And, how does this feel as a senior?
It feels great, and I love the sport to death, and I couldn't wish for anything better.
Good way for seniors at Killingly today, Casey.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. Congratulations to Killingly, and as Logan Smith just outpointed Mike Sheeran, but now we've got ourselves the 120-pound final between the sophomore from Bacon Academy, Braden O'Brien, and Najee Powell Keaton from the sophomore. So a battle of sophomores here.
This is going to be another battle, though. These kids, both of these kids, I have seen grow up through the sport and are amazing athletes, and you can already see it. This is going to be a good match.
So here's a battle of my 2 towns. I am of course, self-proclaimed born and raised Whaler, but I have made my home in Bobcat land for the last 20 years. So the Bacon Academy program has come a long way. The Whaler program has come a long way. Love to see these super sophomores battling one another.
Yeah, back in 04 when I was a freshman, we went to Bacon Academy and we beat them 72-0. They didn't score a single point. And then when I had left high school the final year, Bacon Academy won a state championship. So yeah, they've come a long way. They got a good youth program. They got some good guys there working. Coach Voland, whole squad of guys. They got some good stuff.
Powell seems to be a little quicker here in the early going as he gets another takedown and a 6-1 lead here over O'Brien. We've already seen New London had 3 finalists. The first 2 won their matches.
You got Braden O'Brien getting a little slow up. That's not a good sign.
Let's go,
Powell Keaton will be on top.
Yeah, Najee Powell Keaton's dad was a state open champion for New London, James Keaton. Amazing athlete. I think he might have even went undefeated. Following his father's footsteps.
It is a family affair, and he's got good position right now on O'Brien. Gets the leg. That's a nice little trip there. Get him back down. He's going for that arm. Can he get the shoulders? O'Brien 30-3 on the year. Powell Keaton 19-3 on the year, so these sophomores, very bright futures ahead of them.
Seems like Colchester's scheduling a few more matches.
It's those try matches.
The try meets, yeah, they're important though. But in every match, you get better every match. So it is very important to have a pretty good schedule.
We're at the end of one period, 6-1. Najee Powell Keaton on top here.
We got some excited New London fans sitting behind us.
Well, the Whalers will have an opportunity to do something pretty cool, which is win 3 finals, which is something that's hard to do.
We'd have to check the record books, but I don't know if that's ever happened on Whaler history.
And that's a lot. That's a good showing here. They sent 3 to the finals
again,
to
that
win
just
3.
shows you what Coach Gorton, Coach Rasheed, and Coach O'Brien over there have been doing with this program. It's not easy in New London, and they got a lot of kids excited. They got the community excited. They got the school excited.
Well, it's the numbers that are really encouraging. You see the amount of kids just wrestling, both at a youth level and here at the high school. It's very encouraging.
Well, because at the end of the day, regardless of how good the kids are at wrestling, in the winter, we're getting kids off of the street. We're getting them into the wrestling room. We're teaching them good values, discipline, hard work, integrity. Not to mention, they're making memories. They're building relationships. I still, to this day, with Mike LaBeef, we go whitewater rafting. You know why? Because our dads were wrestlers, and when we were little kids, we wrestled together. That's just how it works.
Nice job by O'Brien as he effectuates a reversal. He's going to have a 6-4 now. Makes this thing awfully close. Powell Keaton.
Yeah, they're going to call a stalemate here, though. The refs, if there's not a lot of movement from this position, the refs should be calling a stalemate. But no, we're looking like changing.
Powell Keaton wants to get out of this
thing.
He
keeps his head down.
Powell Keaton's going to get around this. There it is.
That's a tough call, but I guess the refs called it too. Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot out of both of these wrestlers in ECCs and class and state opens to come. Both great wrestlers.
Nice job by O'Brien that time, though. Gets back in. Here's an opportunity for him to get some points back as we're down 10 seconds remaining here in the period. And a stalling warning on Keaton. Oh, on the face. What's that, little face noogie? They're going to give.
They gave the point to Green.
They're giving the point to Keaton. They're giving a point to Powell Keaton, saying that O'Brien was rubbing the face. So,
a little break in the action here.
Powell Keaton will have top position here. 5 seconds remaining in the period, and he's got a 3-point lead, 8-5. That'll run out the period, and it'll be a tight one going into third period. A shout out to those folks at Mr. G's in New London. I just got word of watching and listening to the ECC Wrestling Championships. Of course, Mr. G's game day sponsor, and they've got the Wrestling Championships on down there right now.
I was just there last night. Ran into Mike tomorrow. Had a nice adult beverage, and I had a bacon cheeseburger pizza. They got all different types of pizzas down there. They're all good, too.
Well, if you ran into Mike tomorrow, that's only because Mr. G's was open.
He's when I need him to go write a story for me, I go looking for him at Mr. G's, and hopefully he's there. 90% of the time he's there.
I'm not saying he's there a lot, but the other day I heard him tell the chef they were out of cooking oil. 9-5. Powell Keaton on top here in the battle of the super sophomores. Minute and a half remaining here in the match at 120 pounds. 2 more matches to follow, 126 and 132. If you're just joining us, Killingly has secured the ECC championship for the team. Waterford and Ledyard are battling for second and third. But right now, New London is trying to get its 3rd champion of the day. Jacob Commander won his match, and Jaden Mackenzie won his, and now Najee Powell Keaton has an opportunity to be the 3rd Whaler champion of the day.
No, I think, I don't know, I think it might be that it's locked up for Waterford at second place here now. I think after that Logan Smith match, that Ledyard doesn't have any. Oh, Ledyard still has Tyler Miller who can
who can wrestle, and he's actually
I don't think
a favorite.
I don't think he can catch him though.
They can't catch him?
No, I think Waterford has secured second place, and Ledyard is in third place. I'd be curious to see where the 3 Whaler victories get them to. They might be able to crack the top 5, which would be an accomplishment for them.
Hey, 3 finalists. That's a big deal.
17 seconds remaining, and
Excuse
Powell
me, 3
Keaton.
champions. 3 champions.
So your up-to-date scores: 205 for Killingly,
86.5
to 171. Montville at 161. So right now everything is in place, and Najee Powell Keaton, an 11-5 victory in 120. The sports doctor has Logan Smith.
113-pound champion Logan Smith from Waterford High School. Boy, you were ready. I saw you 2 hours ago. You were ready to go. You made a big move late in that match, and it kind of gave you a little bit of breathing room out there.
It did. I was confident for the match, but that definitely helped. It was crazy. It happened, and I couldn't be more happy with the end result.
Yeah, how tough is it to repeat as champion?
It's very hard. Gotta always be grinding, which I always do. I wrestle in the off season, keep my cardio up, and it was an amazing feeling.
Another senior going out in style. Good job out there.
Thank you, sports doctor. We are one of the last 2 matches, and the third of the 3 Sheeran brothers junior. David Sheeran from Killingly will square off against Jackson Archer, a senior from Lyman Memorial.
Lyman Memorial is another program that's come along in recent years. You got Greg Flam and Brandon Stroud. They've been doing a really, really good job with that program.
So if you are just joining us, we have 2 matches remaining. David Sheeran and Jackson Archer at 126 are on the mat right now. Killingly has secured the overall team championship. Waterford in second place and Ledyard in third place. But a special shout out to the 3 New London High School finalists, all of whom brought home victory for the Whalers today. 3 for 3. 3-0 in the championship matches for New London. And right now, David Sheeran, the junior, 38-3 on the year, taking on Jackson Archer. And Sheeran has an early 2-0 lead. Sheeran trying to get him over onto his back. He's working that elbow. Working hard underneath. Can't quite secure it right now. Now he has both elbows. Is that a little double wing there? What's that little...
Yeah, it's got one chicken wing. He's going to try to get the other one.
And if he does the cross-face chicken wing, it'll be a Bob Backlund special.
Bob Backlund's still around.
He is still
around. He lives in Glastonbury,
yes,
and he makes his way out to youth tournament. Still has the suspenders, big red.
Yeah, he goes into detention in the juvenile court and gives talks to the kids who are in juvenile detention, and talks about wrestling as an outlet for getting themselves, occupied, and still does that on a regular basis. And when I saw him, I said, "Would you put me in the crossface chicken wing just once for me?" And he did.
Well, I will say, wrestling's probably one of the reasons that I'm not in jail. It helps a lot of young men with maybe anger issues or, anything. They start out wrestling a boy and you become a man by the end of it. That's for sure.
Well, something I talked about with Coach LaBeef prior. So, wrestling is a team sport, but it's really a team sport built up of individual performances. And so, like you mentioned earlier, you throw a pass and someone else drops it, and you have an excuse to blame somebody else for your losses. There's no excuse out on the mat. It's you and somebody else. So you really have to take ownership of, and you really have to learn how to process defeat, learn how to process adversity, which not all team sports have the same way that wrestling does. So there's really a level of responsibility to wrestling that doesn't exist in some of the other team sports.
I completely agree. Unfortunately, that's not just in the sports. That's in society. Our society, and especially the younger generation, it seems that they're setting them up not to fail. They just want them to be winners all the time, and that's just not the way it is. The way you become a winner is by losing over and over again, and then hopefully getting back to the drawing board and learning from those losses. He's working that chicken wing. He almost had him over.
Right now, only that 2-1 lead here in the second period. He was just seconds away, though. It can all turn around so quickly. Coach LaBeef was talking about the youth wrestler that had over 100 youth losses before he made it to high school and then won 100 matches in high school. And that's the kind of overcoming adversity that that we talk about.
Well, I wish more of my youth wrestling parents knew this, but no one really cares if you're a six-year-old state champion. I mean, the parents do, and as a coach, I care. I love to see my kids win, but no Olympic champion. You'll never hear about when they won something when they were 6. No, the youth wrestling. We're trying to get these kids ready for this high school wrestling so they can get on to the next level.
A little headgear issue with Jackson Archer. He's going to go get that fixed up. A little snap action. And he'll get back into it. He trails 2-1 in what has been a very competitive match with junior David Sheeran. Sheeran in top position. Archer wants desperately to get an escape and tie this thing up, but Sheeran's got him broken down pretty well.
And he keeps working those arms too. He's got a wrist, and he's got a wing. He's going to try to work it.
There he has. He's almost got him over. He's halfway home.
Oh, ref called one near fall. No back points yet, though.
Archer working hard here, but Sheeran has maintained position and is just grinding right now on the senior. 18 seconds and counting here in period number 2. Give David Sheeran a lot of credit. He has maintained this position for almost the entire period. 2 minutes can feel like an eternity.
I'll give him credit when he turns the kid over to his back.
You're not going to do it in this period. That's a lot of work on both sides for no points.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got to feel like, if you're an Archer, you got to feel like you just got a victory there. You know, like
absolutely. He didn't get turned. When you're all tied up like that, tied up like a pretzel, and you get out alive, yeah, absolutely, it should be a victory.
So now Sheeran will start on the bottom, and Archer has an opportunity here.
Archer has to turn him though, and realistically, from a coaching standpoint, I would think that the coaches would let him up, as you've seen before. Give him the one escape. It would put the score at 3-1. But Archer would have it. Now this is where we're in this situation now. Now Archer has to get the takedown to tie it up. Basically, if he had just given him the escape, he could have been working for a takedown for the last 20 seconds.
He wants to get around, but nice job by Sheeran. Right out of bounds. 1:35 remaining, a 3-1 lead for junior David Sheeran right now. Archer's got the wrist. Sheeran's got a wrist of his own right now, so it's anybody's contest still. 120, a lot of wrestling left. Archer's going to need to, there it is, he goes for a single leg.
Can he finish? Step over, hook that ankle, and now that's 2.
There it is.
And here we are. This just got exciting here.
Now the danger comes, though, if you ride it too long and give up an escape, you can lose the match just like that. So
yeah.
He's got to stay on him.
He's got to. The top guy can turn him, but really the bottom guy's in the position to win this match right now because he just needs to get an escape.
Archer trying to turn Sheeran over to see if he can get a near fall and secure the match. He's almost got him. He's almost got him driving.
Man. $30 seconds remaining. If no score happens, we're going to overtime again.
Archer trying for the escape. Sheeran trying for the escape. Archer's trying to get him over on his shoulders. 15 seconds remaining. Who's going to accomplish their goal? Archer's got the foot. Down under 10. Can Sheeran escape? Can Archer get him over?
Oh, Sheeran's going for it.
They can't get out.
No, we're going into overtime, folks.
And we are going to go to overtime. 3-3, overtime, 1 minute period. Sudden death on a takedown. Who will come out of here with an ECC championship?
Well, the answer is whoever wants it more. It's like Sheeran's in on a single. Archer's stopping it though. Archer's spinning. Archer's got that too. Give it to him. He wants it. Oh no, but Sheeran's fighting. This is called a scramble. That's 2.
There it is. Senior Jackson Archer with a sudden death 5-3 win. The sports doctor's got a happy whaler.
Najee Powell-Keaton, 120 weight class champion. You beat the #1 seed going in. Did you feel like the underdog when you took the mat?
Definitely not. I knew what I came there to do. I had definitely been working out after with my dad, doing double practices, working hard, making sure I eat right, definitely stay in shape. So when I came out today, I knew what I was set to do. I came and I actually fulfilled that, so I'm very thankful.
Yeah, great job today, son. You're London 3 for 3 today, Casey.
That's right. And there's nothing better than when a young man says, I worked extra with my dad. And that's about as good as it gets right there. It pays off. And Najee Powell-Keaton is an ECC champion. Our last match of the day, 132 pounds, sees an excellent ledgered wrestler, senior Tyler Miller, going up against Dominic Renfrey, only a young man, a sophomore from NFA.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Renfrey is the only finalist out of NFA.
That is correct.
And NFA is the largest school in this whole conference.
And there's a great wrestling program for many, many years at NFA.
Under Carl Snicken, and they've had, but I know this guy here, I think his name's Steve Nelson, took over the program. He wrestled for Montville when I was around, and he's actually turned the program around. From my understanding, NFA was winning the large division.
Well, Carl Snicken was a prolific winner at NFA, and the Wildcat program fell on some hard times when he left, but back in with a finalist here, Dominic Renfrey.
Now, Carl Snicken just passed this year.
Yeah.
It's a huge loss to the community. He was winning every title in the 1990s, it seemed like.
Oh, yeah.
I was born in 1990, so that was what I read. I wasn't there to live it.
I'm not going to. Mike, if you want to just throw something at him across the table, that's okay.
Yeah, Mike, what year were you born?
Yes, shoes older than you, he said, yeah. I graduated high school before you were born.
There you go.
So. But your beard doesn't look a day over 40.
And I heard that when you wanted me to come out here that you had the thought of challenging me to a wrestling match. That's one of your workers told me that last night.
True story. The original plan was for me to throw on a singlet and the appropriate headgear, get on the mat, and have you show the viewers what kinds of things we were going to be talking about in the match. I wanted you to throw a single leg, a double leg, fireman's. I wanted you to do those various things. But their concern was that your 3 of your vertebrae and some of your discs would not survive trying to put me up on your shoulders for even a moment. So we called that off because we didn't know if you had appropriate health care. But, moving forward, that's something we could do. It wasn't so much of a challenge.
The Chicago Cubs have a saying, there's always next year.
That's right.
So maybe our viewers will be in for a treat.
Well, next year will give me an opportunity to come up with a different excuse not to get on the mat with you. But right now, we're almost at the end of a period, and Tyler Miller and Dominic Renfrey are scoreless here in our final match of the day as we head into the second period of the 132 match. And we thought, it would be a nice thing for the folks at home to see a visual of the different kinds of moves that, just the basic things that when you call out and you reference a chicken wing or a crossface, what you're actually talking about. But then it occurred to me that I would probably need various forms of hospitalization, and I decided that wasn't in the best interest of the show.
Yeah, the day doesn't want to have to pay for all that.
Can't afford to lose talent, they say. On top here, Miller's
another one of those kids, man. He's coming through the youth program. He's been wrestling since he could walk, basically. So him being a senior, he really wants to take this title home.
These two seem very evenly matched as far as their strength and their quickness. Miller, perhaps a little more of a veteran wrestler, a senior versus a sophomore. And he's in good position right now. Renfrey trying to kick out. This is an odd spot they're both in right now.
Yeah, Renfrey's on the bottom. He's going to get his butt high in the air, and he's going to get Miller high. It's called getting high, and you get him high off of your hips, and then they slide forward. You can come out the back door, which would be in between his legs.
Almost there.
He's almost there. Miller's holding on tight, though. You'd be surprised how long Miller can stand here. Miller's controlling his arms. They're calling the stalemate.
And much to the dismay of the NFA coaches, they really wanted to see Dominic Renfrey power through that and secure some points. But instead, Miller will be back on top here with a minute and change remaining in period number 2.
Now the good news is they reset him, put him right back in this referee's position, and it gives him an actual better chance of getting out now because, while it was possible he could have scored there, he wasn't really in the position to score.
1 minute, 6 seconds remaining here in period number 2. No score. between Tyler Miller and Dominic Renfrey. Renfrey of NFA wanted to get out for an escape, but Miller's done a really nice job maintaining control.
This is our final match of the night, huh?
This is it. Flies by when you're
having fun,
enjoying good wrestling, right? So, you know, I think some of the matches lived up to the hype. I think Jacob Commander was every bit as impressive as we expected him to be. Logan Smith was in a battle with Mikey Sheeran, I think.
But he came out, you know, it was a battle, but he ended up taking the lead on him there at the end.
12-7. It ended up being a decisive victory, but we saw some theatrics from the big 285s with
yeah, that was a big pin there by Renee Bernier.
He got Ryan. Yep.
And then a huge win out of sophomore Jaden Mackenzie for New London. That's a big deal there.
That's a building block moving forward as well.
220-pound sophomore, holy.
4 seconds remaining in the period. We have no score. And we're going to ride out the second period with no score. So we had Danny Sheeran with a big victory, the senior over freshman Connor Doran. And
all right, Tyler Miller's taking the bottom position.
He wants that escape.
We're actually in the third period.
He wants that escape. He wants that point. 1-0 might do it. So of the three Sheeran brothers, Danny got a win. Mike lost a tough one to Logan Smith, and David lost a tough one to Jackson Archer. So the Sheerans go 1-2 today, but 3 excellent matches.
3 finalists out of that family. They should all be very proud.
Absolutely.
But only one is champion, and I'm sure he'll let his brothers know that, as a brother should.
Oh yeah, Danny's going to walk around today with his shoulders a little bit back, head held high. Tyler Miller right now underneath trying to escape, but Renfrey is in really good position for NFA. 1:33 remaining and counting. Oh, Renfrey wants to get him over. Can he get him over onto his back?
Call him potentially dangerous. Potentially dangerous is it's a rule for the officials that if they feel that if a body part's getting in a position that it could be, you know, you could tear an ACL or rip out your shoulders, you know, they're going to stop it before it gets to be that, before it gets to be an injury that can affect someone's life.
So Miller will start on the bottom. Renfrey trying to control him. 1:15 remaining in this scoreless final match of the day. ECC Wrestling Championships from Fitch High School. Killingly will be your champion. Waterford second, Ledyard third. But who will be the final champion? Will it be senior Tyler Miller from Ledyard or sophomore Dominic Renfrey from NFA?
Miller's hips are up. He's got to move. He's got to get hand control. He's got to get his head off the mat.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
almost,
man.
Miller.
Renfrey almost with the turn.
Miller's
he's got that
trouble.
He's got that chicken wing in. The infamous chicken wing.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, man. There it is. Miller.
Miller's got him.
Miller.
Got him.
Oh, Miller just needs to get his one now. There's no points there.
Can Renfrey get his head
Get
out?
your one, Miller. Get your one. Oh, and he gets
there
his
it
two.
is. He's got
Renfrey
two.
gives up laying on the mat. That's huge for Tyler Miller. Long time coming this kid to secure a championship.
What an amazing match.
Got exciting in the last 20 seconds there.
You got a near fall for points
Getting
as well.
more. Getting another.
1
That's
second.
the match. Tyler Miller is your ECC champ.
Congratulations. The sports doctor has a very excited Jackson Archer.
126-pound champion, Lyman senior Jackson Archer. He showed a lot of emotion after that win. That was big for you, wasn't it, son?
It was. After 4 years wrestling for here, third year wrestling this tournament, I think I deserve this.
Yeah, a little chip on your shoulder after finishing second last year. You wanted to win this bad.
Definitely did.
It feels good, doesn't it, to go out in style?
It feels
Enjoy
awesome.
this one. Casey?
Thank you, sports doctor. Well, there's your final winner of the day, Tyler Miller, the senior from Ledyard, and we'll take a moment to recap all of the winners today. Danny Sheeran is your 106-pound champion out of Killingly High School. Logan Smith, your 113-pound champion out of Waterford. Your 120-pound champion is Najee Powell Keaton from New London. From 126, Jackson Archer of Lyman. Your 132 champion, Tyler Miller from Ledyard High School. At 138, Austin Robertson, the champion out of Fitch. At 145, your champion, Marcos Rodriguez from Wyndham. At 152, your champion, Ryan Powers from Lyman. Sports Doctor, your last champion of the day.
Tyler Miller, Ledyard High School, what a big win. What was the difference down the stretch that got you over the top?
I think it was my conditioning because of my coaches and my teammates pushing me harder in practice. That's about it.
It's a big win, isn't it? It feels pretty good?
It does.
Well, you're going out in style. What a great day of wrestling here for these kids, Casey.
Thank you very much, Sports Doctor. Your 160-pound winner, Zachary Navarrete from Montville. 170, Derek Turner from Killingly. 182, Jacob Commander, the senior from New London High School. 195, your winner, Johnny Falco from Griswold. At 220, a very impressive sophomore, Jaden Mackenzie. And at 285, the pin out of nowhere, Rennie Bernier, the senior from Killingly High School. All champions of ECC Wrestling. We want to thank Mr. G's, Game Day proud sponsor. So technically, since we're at the end, we are in the Mr. G's post-game show. But Mr. G's is New London's go-to restaurant and bar, the sports headquarters in New London for 50 years plus, now offering online ordering and delivery through Uber Eats. The Sports Doctor's post-game interviews, all sponsored by Mr. G's. Well, we want to thank CJ Saddy for being our eye candy, our wrestling royalty, and our color commentator all in one today.
I was told I have a face for radio, but I appreciate you guys having me on. This is actually really fun, and I'd love to do it again with you guys.
Well, I think we're definitely going to do it again. This was everything we had hoped for. Thoughts about sort of what you saw today, and really how does this set people up moving forward? Because now you're going to be going into the class championships.
Well, it can do two things. It can discourage kids. You know, kid coming out here hoping to get the win, and he doesn't get it. But it could also, these kids that took the loss today, it can really light the fire under them to get them more motivated with the loss than the win could. Because the win, the guys get comfortable winning. You know, oh, I got this. Whereas the kid that lost this week, he's going to get into the room and he is going to train like a madman. If he really wants it, that's what's going to happen. So it can go both ways. I think it's exciting.
So what's the difference between the class championships and the ECC championships in terms of how many matches do you have to win? You still have to win 4 or 5 different matches to
yeah,
make it to a class
it's
championship?
roughly the same. What it is, the conferences are just split up kind of more so about where you're located. And we got, whereas the class is split up by the amount of people in your school. You got Class S, Class M, Class L, and Double L. But it's probably a 16-man bracket, and you're still going to have to win 4 or 5 matches to be a champion.
And then from there you go on to the State Open where you wrestle everybody in the state outside your class. So now now is it possible?
It's the top 4 from each class.
There you go. So you could lose in the finals of the Class M state championship, for example, and then go wrestle the same kid a week later in the
Absolutely.
Open and have a rematch. And
you could wrestle a kid in the finals of the ECCs, in the finals of Class M's, and then again in the finals Open. I don't know if I've ever seen it happen all the way through New England, but it's possible.
And then for some of these young men on the way to New England, and some of them have legitimate chances at placing in the New England Championship.
We've said his name multiple times, but Jacob Commander, he placed top 4 last year, and he's looking to win it. Why not? I want to see this kid. I think this kid's going to All-American this year, to be honest with you. I know he's plans on going down to the SCA Nationals, so
well, good luck
big things
to him.
Expected out of him.
Absolutely. Well, game day's not done. Of course, today our 13th different sporting event, but back to familiarity for us on Tuesday, live from the X. We will bring you the rematch of the East Lyme High School Vikings and the Waterford High School Lancers in boys basketball. And then next Friday night, we'll be over at the Bears Lair in Stonington High School for the Stonington High School boys basketball team and the St. Bernard Saints. Nobody playing better basketball right now than St. Bernard's. And then next Saturday, we'll be at Waterford High School for what was the most watched event in game day history last year. In the history of game day, no more views than the ECC Championship of Cheerleading, which will be next week from Waterford High School. And then, of course, conference championships in both boys and girls basketball. So still a lot of winter sports left here on game day. For CJ Saddy, for the sports doctor Keith O'Brien. Oh, Keith O'Brien. We've got Mike DeMoro, and for Peter Wappy and the crew who went through a little bit of extra effort today to make sure all of you got to see the ECC Wrestling Championships. We want to say thank you very much to all of you for tuning in. Wrestling is now a game day staple. We'll be back in a year to do it all over again. But join us Tuesday night at the X for boys basketball. And if we're lucky enough, we might have a chance to talk to Killingly, who is in fact the ECC team champions, which would be a really nice interview as well. Coach LaBeef, we talked to at length earlier today, CJ, and he, you could see he had a sort of a, I don't want to say quiet confidence, but he felt pretty good about his 5 guys going into these finals.
Yeah, it's not a question of, it's definitely confidence. It's not cockiness. Coach LaBeef has been a staple in the wrestling community for the 28 years I've been alive, and probably before then, and hopefully another 28 more on top of that. And the success of his youth program and their wrestlers, it just showed today. 100%. Those kids all did great, and 5 in the finals, 3 champions. That's something to be proud about. Yeah, it really is. 3 of them named Sheeran, and they did very, very well. Killingly now will go forward and compete in their class championships moving forward here in high school wrestling. So you see, talk about a kid like Jacob Commander who goes on, you know, the sky's the limit. I think he's embracing his wrestling ability as well. You know, he goes right from the football field. Takes him a while to get healthy coming off of a football season and jumping in. I think the sports doctor is ready with one last interview. Sports doctor.
Well, we got Killingly coach Rich Bowen. What another successful meet. Last year was a nail biter. This year, your kids showed up and they dominated a little bit out there today.
Yeah, it was definitely a team effort. You know, we told the kids early on that everybody's got to contribute, and they did that today. So.
You know, the state of the program from top to bottom. You know, the wrestlers, the coaches. You know, what makes it so special?
You know, I just think we're really committed to it. You know, I've got, like you said, coaches, you know, there 100% of the time. The kids buy in, and then we just, you know, we work hard with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Recently, 600 wins under your belt. Yeah. What does that mean? Does that mean anything to you personally, Coach? I mean, that's a big accomplishment.
It does. Means I'm kind of old, too, but I've been doing it a while and, you know, had some success over the years. So, yeah, I think it'll sink in a little more once I sit back after this season and take a look at everything, you know.
Now, you come off this weekend and you head into the States next weekend. Your kids will be ready to roll.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, we'll rest up a little bit and get refocused, and we'll try to do it one more time.
Yeah. Great job today. Fantastic program. Killingly football, Killingly in wrestling. Good stuff up there and in the state, Casey.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. There are the champions on the day, the ECC Wrestling Championships live from Fitch High School. This has been the Mr. G's post-game show. Once again, for Mike DeMoro, Peter Wappy, and the crew, for the Sports Doctor Keith O'Brien, and for Mr. November, CJ Saddy, we want to say thank you all very much and good night.